Limerick, it's not a bad old city.
Well, after an absence of 28 years, not 28, I'm talking about 18 years from Limerick, at the risk of sounding facetious, the very first change I noticed when I came back was that the one and only public lavatory in Limerick City, in the main streets of Limerick City, had been demolished and never replaced. It still hasn't been replaced, and to me that sums up the civic spirit of Limerick City.
City of beautiful churches and spires, city of pubs and lowly desires, city of gossips that tell what they're told, city of youth that just waits to grow old. Society city, home of the snob. Show me your penny before you hobnob. Do have a coffee, oh, do have a bun. Do what the others do. Do 'cause it's done. Conventional city, Victorian smug. Peas in their little pods, bugs in their rug. Here is no nightlife, no Stygian fun. They withstand temptation, because there is none. Resenting the outsider's critical speech, playing a part they are frightened to cease. Professing a culture they never knew, living their lives out with nothing to do. These critical lines may have been true of Limerick not so long ago, but how valid are they today? Certainly the workers who set out in the early morning darkness for the Shannon Industrial Estate have little opportunity for temptation or social hobnobbing.
How do you like working in Shannon?
Oh, I like it very well inside out.
And how do you find the journeys in and out?
Well, it's a bit hard, but you get used to it through the years, you know, as you keep going out.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, singing along. I have a man in the mountains singing this happy song. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la, won't you join in? When you got love in the country, you got everything.
What do you think of Limerick, Willie?
I think more of Limerick than Limerick thinks of me.
So, do you approve the changes in life here?
Oh, by all means.
Is it a conservative city?
They all ballyhoo all this kind of talk about conservatism and so on like that. People live their own way of life here, and that's that. They don't interfere with anybody. But Limerick is a growing city. I could go back to 1940 when our population was 32,000. Now it's about 68,000 or thereabouts. And still increasing.
Yeah, what have been the greatest changes, really, in life here?
Well, I'd say more or less the living standards and so forth, and abolition, total abolition, I'd say, of the slums.
You approve so of the industrial changes here?
Oh, I do. And so does everybody else here who's honest about it. As regards politics, I have no time for politics at all like that. And I think, as I say again, where is due? Any progress we have made here, and we will continue to progress. And so much so you have people come from all parts of Ireland and here, getting their bread and butter, so to speak, and rightly so. An Irishman is entitled to his bread and butter in any part of his own country.
Some of the changes that Willie Gleeson describes can be seen on the Ennis Road, once the exclusive preserve of Limerick's merchant families. Years ago, these signs may have caused surprise, but not now. Change has come slowly to the old city. Limerick is now facing up to the challenge that change inevitably brings. Nowadays, wealth can mean a home on the Cratloe Hills looking down on the daily procession of Shannon-bound workers. The new industrial estate employs over 4,500 workers. Shannon has disturbed some of the traditional family patterns. Today, many wives work. They have to meet new economic pressures. The EI factory in Shannon employs over 1,000 workers, including many married women.
As a housewife, how do you like working here?
Well, I've been working here for the last 10 years, so I really enjoy working here. You know, because it's great for the wife to get out of the home for a while, like, you know.
Do you find it difficult to combine your work as a housewife with your job?
No, not really, because my husband is on shift work, so he helps a lot.
Back in the city, other workers leave their homes to return to work in Limerick factories after their lunch hour break. It can't be denied that local industrial estates, including Shannon, have brought a new prosperity to Limerick. Thousands of new houses have been built in the city in recent years. Housing estates at South Hill and Moyross show the Limerick Corporation's efforts to meet the demands of the new economic conditions. A recent survey has estimated that 1/3 of the workers living in the South Hill area travel outside Limerick to work. The necessity for houses continues to grow, and over 800 applicants are now on the corporation's house waiting list. On the matter of maintenance of older houses, one independent member of the Limerick City Council, Councillor Michael Crowe, believes that the corporation's maintenance programme has not kept pace with its house building progress.
I think that the repair situation in the corporation is so dire that it would need an absolute miracle to help these people to overcome this long and severe winter which we're facing into.
And what is your solution to the
The solution is very simple, is this, that we haven't allocated enough money, that £200,000 is completely inadequate at this day and age. We need exactly 3 times that amount, and we need double the amount of staff.
Educational changes have followed in the wake of the industrial developments, and many new schools, including the Crescent Comprehensive School, have been built in the last few years. To the background music of the recently formed Boherboy Youth Band, writer Sean Burke strolls in the People's Park. This much-travelled Limerick man gives his own personal analysis of the changes he has seen in his native city since his return here 3 years ago.
Well, I think it's a city of great potential, but at the same time it's a city of great contrasts. Another thing I noticed on the more positive side was that when I came back that children no longer go to school barefooted, as we did, and this was very gratifying at first, but after a while I discovered the reason for this was that credit facilities are greater now than they were then. When we were going to school here 18 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, if you couldn't afford a pair of shoes, you went to school barefooted. Now you can get a pair of shoes on credit, and therefore you don't have to go to school barefooted. But the gap between the rich and the poor has not only has it not narrowed, but in fact I think it's got wider.
Mm-hmm. And do you approve these changes?
Not all of them, no. I think the affluence that we do see is a very artificial one, and it's based mainly, as you probably know, on foreign investment. Our economy is dangling on a lot of strings controlled from places like London, Paris, Bonn, Tokyo, and so on. And when these people find Limerick no longer useful to them, they will withdraw, and this affluence collapses. So, in fact, fundamentally, nothing has changed very much, I think, in the past 20 or 25 years.
And you still think it's a conservative city?
Terribly conservative. We have a bloody council in this town which I think is probably more right-wing and more reactionary than Ted Heath's Tories in London.